I wonder if they're gonna go like a serious comp or if they're just gonna go, you know what? Let's just have fun. Let's play something silly.
Now, I do love the silliness, but I still need to ask Quill. Do you like these team names first?
All right, we could have been better, but they're good. They're
All right, Quill's ratings here for both team names is that they could have been better. Let's get this show on the road. Game 1 of this first set here underway to get us started. Of course, fishkissers and Alpha is we throwing on Bravo right out of the gate. Quill, really no surprises to weapons that we're seeing here today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pick a bucket, and that's always such a good pick for Mako. It has such good fallout that all these really. But no, with the bucket on one goes down, and no, both the buckets are.
All right, and it's very much going to lead into the wipeout that we're seeing right away. So this is going to be the first starting push that we are going to be seeing here from the fishkissers themselves, cracking on pencil there, which is still starting to become very popular though at this stage. But for both teams, just be on the lookout for the slosher duel as we speak here. As we get their first push of the game, fishkissers is going to be the ones catching on 1+1. Jay already slicing through, taking out Serval in the process. It's going to be the 1+4 push right out of the gate. 65 points remaining and still counting down, and it still will be the fishkissers' first push to get us rolling here. Phil, this is a good start so far for the fishkissers.
Absolutely, the bucket on the side of fishkissers is just doing such a good job exerting pressure on that ledge. The strikes coming out. The thing is my throwing just can't get out of their base because of the constant aggressive positioning and pressure being put on by the fishkissers. And Kraken tap shots one of them to death and scores in the other ball. My goodness, the pressure is just not being let up as they're in their spawn now.
Already into their spawn. Jay still trying to slash through. This is just great aggression right out of the gate that they are going to lose to, but that is more points that they're able to cash in right away. 9 points extra to be ticked down. 44 points already in, and so far that we have seen right away here, Quill, is that we have seen is we throwing, which they haven't had the lead quite yet. Just being stuck playing defense for the past minute and a half. They do have power climb. Might just been the free climb that they picked up here, trying to get the push start, just get points on the board. Jay will throw the first surprises in, slices out Garfy there, but not before going down. It is going to be enough just to slow them down just a bit more. Delayed 3 on top of it, and Quill 3 minutes in, and the fishkissers pretty much just setting the pace.
Yeah, fishkissers has just had absolute control in the game, getting a really good pick on opening, and they're just playing around the ledges of Mako so well. It's just like the other team just has nothing to help fix this issue. They're just locked out completely as Lily again taking an advantage, getting amazing flicks and getting that trade. That was fancy as they're now even. Kraken still exerting pressure as the Stamper just hangs out on the top of their spawn, popping the Zipcaster, and more players are coming in for fishkissers.
Fishkissers again, still keeping up to this aggression. The pace is pretty much right in their favor. There is we throwing, still stuck at spawn there for the most part. It's gonna be another delayed wipe as Kraken gets the second pick onto the pencil right away. All the clans being tossed into Kraken, but they're just one short right now. No power clan is gonna be available right away. It is gonna give Is We throwing a chance to fall back there if they're able to, but not before the first clan is gonna get cashed in. 23 points. Away from the KO. It could be the 100-0 here, but it looks like Is We Throwing might be able to hold them off just for a little bit more. The penalty points not cleared out, but they're not going to pick up the free clam. That clam stays there where it stands. Jay is going to be the one lurking large, and Quill, it is still full on aggression, even though they did not clear the penalty points. It's still looking really good.
Yeah, it looks amazing still as the Flash gets 2, right? Flash gets 3! Oh my goodness, they're just running behind them, just living in the most inconvenient spots for Is We Throwing. We keep seeing them get so aggressively positioned. That's another pick onto the Flash. Massive picks from the Crab. This looks like this might be the knockout, but it might actually, yes, that might be the knockout. They're 1 point away, and there it is, Kyon. That was such an impressive, constant aggression being put up by the fishkissers as they take game 1 in a KO.
Response not quite there for Is We Throwing there from basically stuck in defense for a good chunk. There were maybe a few attempts for Is We Throwing to basically get their way back into this game, but to no success. The aggression was just a bit much for Is We Throwing to make this one count. And Quill, let's be honest here. That Splash gained the triple, and the Crab just also gained the 4th pick into them. That was pretty nice.
That Splash gameplay we saw right at the end was honestly crazy. Splash nowadays is seen as supportive, but The fish was just like, nope, we're gonna be aggro. I'd win these fights. It was really entertaining to see that really good crab positioning as well, and how it was able to just let the enemy, let your teammates get onto the crab. There were so many times where the crab allowed Jay and Lily to get into the enemy spawn. It was just such a masterclass in aggressive gameplay.
Now, for a hot second, that's immediately what we had to ask. By the way, shout out to our producer getting us the relay. For those listening to the YouTube audience, you heard us. For those in the Twitch audience, well, hello, welcome back. So yeah, we're just getting a few things repaired there, but yeah, right away it was still great aggression from the Fishkissers, and now we're on to the second map right away. Hagglefish Market Zones there to speak of. Hopefully we can iron out all the tech issues right away. But Quill, we gone through the map that has been getting a surge of popularity. The next two maps are basically almost the final destinations or the most common picks you'll probably end up seeing there for Zones and Rainmaker respectively. So, and we're going to be entering the Zones one coming up.
Yeah, Hagglefish is your bread and butter. If there was a signature Zones map, like the vanilla ice cream of Zones, it'd be Hagglefish. It's been played since basically the beginning of the game, and it doesn't look like it'll be leaving the map rotation anytime soon. It's just such a staple of our competitive format. And I wonder what's going to be brought from each of the teams. I'm really curious to see if Lily will stay on that bucket, because their gameplay on it was just so impressive with all those flicks that they were getting. And I'm wondering if our Easy Throwing is going to actually get like a foot on the ground here. And I really hope they do to make this match even more interesting.
I think a lot of us are hoping that they're able to get themselves kickstarted there, because that was a very rough first map from a mental perspective there. Just game 100-0 in a very slow fashion. So looking for the rebound there. Trick, by the way, going to be dishing out the Dark Tetras there. That's going to be the Autobomb with the Reed Slider in play. A little bit of an interesting pick there, to say the least, because this is not one of those maps there where you can probably get full advantage with the Reed Slider unless you place it in great position. So I'm gonna be intrigued to see how this is all going to play out there. It's going to be 3 down. It was the first points for Isby Throne, which is a great start, but this is going to be the great rebound here. Fishkissers once again going to be moving up. They will get the lead here shortly, and it is going to be, well, what I was going to say, Quill, is there is the lead, and then there is one play that has gone down. We're going to play this one up, though, for what it looks like.
Yeah, it's up to them to cancel the game. However, if they decide to play it out, there's not much we can do, as that clock keeps ticking down for the side of Fishkissers, but they're down their shot. That was their main entry tool with the Zuka, but now they don't have a way in, so it's up for them to just get picks as the pressure is continuous on the side of Isby Throwing, as they're just trying to get out as we now approach like the 30-point mark. This is getting scary. They already had that disconnect.
It's tricky. A perma 1 down situation, not the greatest feeling in the world there for Isby Throwing there, because it just makes things so much more difficult. And as we're about to see right here, with about 3 ticks left, it is just going to be the end of that one. If results hold, will be a 2-0 set victory for the Fishkissers, but as we know, Will, with Lowing, it is a play all 3. I like to call the third map for the team down 2-0 to be salvage mode. Basically, just try to end it off with a 1-2 set loss, but at least end it on a high note or a good note there for Isby Throwing if they're able to do so.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for them, especially because their opening was so much better than their first game. I really do think the Tetras was a smart move, because it looked like even just the little amount of time that they had to show that off, I think they got more value than the other weapon pick that they did last game. So I really hope that adjustment stays for our next game.
Now, the big swap that we saw there, Quill, from map 2 was the switch over to the Dark Tetras. I would be stunned if they wanted to keep that, but I can probably see it in the context of Undertow Spillway Rainmaker coming up. But it's usually we would end up seeing a lot of those resliders in a lot of Zones maps for the most part, or just trying to allow a lot more entry in, no matter which map mode it could be. But I'd be curious. But yeah, that opening was a good start. And then of course we could have talked about the rebound there, but the perma 1 down situation was almost, for some, the writing on the wall was there at that point.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when you're down a player. Still waiting them to get into the lobby, though. What do you think is going to be brought to Undertow here? Undertow Rainmaker is also a staple Rainmaker map, and yeah. I wonder, what potential adjustments do you think they're going to be? Are we going to see them kind of stick with what they've been going, or maybe do you expect a blaster maybe being brought out instead of maybe a bucket?
I would not be shocked for the fish kissers if they just kept the same weapons, excuse me, in the rotation. If it ain't broke, don't fix is always usually the phrase that a lot of teams may just run and are like, maybe we can keep this up because it's worked so well against this team. Expect a lot of changes. Quill could theoretically be a blaster for Izwi throwing if they wanted to dish that one out. But they are not afraid to switch weapons based on the map context. So basically, don't be surprised if we do see weapon changes primarily from Izwi throwing, but and at the same time, don't be surprised if the fish kissers keep their weapons along. What do you expect to see for the third map though, Quill?
I would not be surprised to see the pencils trade off for a heavy edit, frankly. Heavy edit is really good with Rainmaker because heavy edit runs a lot of run speed, and as such, it makes it a really good Rainmaker carrier. It has better pop, it's more agile than a pencil. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the backlines opt for the Splatling instead of the pencil. And I think if whoever makes that adjustment might reap the benefits of it.
That's going to be the ultimate question, is who will have the better adjustments. Again, coming into the third map in this playoff 3, where Izwi just needs to get on the board, and of course, for the Fish Kissers, looking to see if they can finish off the set in grand style for the group. So ultimately, I don't be surprised if we do see those adjustments. And you know, there too, heavy edit would be a very solid pick, but it's really going to boil down to the team style overall and see which player is more comfortable using the weapons in question, to say the least. So, Quill, this could be an intriguing third map. Of course, for Izwi to just want to be on the board. I don't blame them. They're just going to still try to fight hard, especially in this playoff 3 where tiebreaker starts to matter here. And in this case, yeah, no weapon changes to speak of right away. On the other side, there's your heavy edit, the one you just called up, but this time will be on the side of Izwi throwing.
Yes, I think Izwi throwing making that adjustment might help them a lot here because they do have a lot of pop power. That might give them advantage here in this opening as we see that pop start to be contested, but instead of it being the purple, it is yellow. Going to the side of Fish Kissers, we see... Oh no, not Fish Kissers. Oh wait, no, yeah, that's for Fish Kissers. Sorry.
You got it right.
Yeah,
you got it right there.
Alright, and we see Zuka come out, getting picked on the pencil. This is huge. They won't have a cooler unless that already came out before. As we see the players of Fish Kissers pushed up a little too far, getting punished, but Lily is still behind them, able to just weave in and out of those shots as we see Serval with the Rainmaker, but Lily's right at the doorstep. Nice. Getting the trade there.
Yeah, and Lily able to get that nice trade there, and it almost looked like it was a certainly strong push for Izwi throwing stalled behind. And we called out Lily's name a couple times already in this set here, Quill, where Lily's just getting so much value out of that vanilla slosher. Again, getting some key flicks there, is able to turn that advantage around for the Fish Kissers. And by the way, one other weapon change to note there, Quill, that we haven't called out there is Trick goes the Dark Tetra to the Wiper there. So you got the Ultra Stamp and a little bit more aggression, moving a little bit before if they need to do so. Fortunately, called out their name, and they just go down just like that. Delayed 3, made that a delayed wipeout as well. Kraken's gonna be the one picking up this Rainmaker. Lead not only changes hands, should be the checkpoint coming up here for the Fish Kissers, which it will be. Checkpoint already cleared for the Fish Kissers here, Quill.
And we see Fish Kissers getting that checkpoint pretty confidently, uncontested, as really great grab and strike placement from it as well. Just able to fight so much. Oh, no. That's a double. That's a triple. As it looks like the game might end right here, and no, it doesn't. They're left at 1 with Garvey being one of the few people fighting. Zuka comes out, but not quite enough. As we see finally our Izwi throwing finally picks up the Rainmaker and drops it off their plat, trying to take advantage of this 2-up situation on their part.
How on earth, Quill, did the rest of Izwi throwing able to hold that off for as long as they could, despite 2 of their own members going down to a Rainmaker shot? That was a little silly, but also clutch there, because at least it gives Izwi throwing a chance to come back. Now, 1 point remain, of course, is a really strong push right out of the gate for the Fish Kissers. Ultimately, you don't be surprised if they opt to play defensively, for a good chunk of this. Rainmaker, by the way, is going to get reset here. But Quill, I need to ask you this important question there. Well, 2 members and 3 members have gone. I was about to ask you if Izwi throwing, what are the things they need to do to win the third map? But right now, they're going to be multiple members down. So I still but Trick might have a trick up their sleeves there, but the Rainmaker's being fished around right there. Garfy finally gets trade off in this one. It's a really messy fight, but it's gonna end with Jay going down, followed by the Rainmaker bubble blasted away, and High LOL is gonna be there to get the other pick as well. Pace is slowed down. Quill, what do Is We Throwing need to do to at least get the third map?
Is We Throwing needs to take fights as a team. The Wiper and the Bucket are able to pair so well together and skirmish incredibly, but we just keep seeing them get separated and picked off from the players of Fishkissers. They need to just be together, fight together. They have such strong weapons and specials. They should be able to get something done, but they can't do anything when they have Lily and the members of Fishkissers always up in their face saying, we're here to fight you, Yon. It's honestly just non-stop aggression from Fishkissers, and this could be the KO if they manage. No, it's not.
It's the second time. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's the second time the Fishkissers tried to slam this one home. Get the exclamation mark. Now they get it the third time. Third time's the charm there. Great stomps overall from Is We Throwing, but just not enough oomph left in the tank to basically get the third to basically stop it the third time. And Quill, I did note though for the Fishkissers that winning this set 3-0 will be the exclamation mark. How about a KO in Undertow Rainmaker to wrap that one up?
Oh goodness, KOing Undertow Rainmaker can be a nightmare, but they managed to do it. It took them 3 times, but like you said, John, third time is the charm. It's not going to be the end for Is We Throwing though. This is only the first round, so who knows? They could make a really strong comeback, and I hope they do, because I did like the Wiper pick there. Trick did some really good plays, but unfortunately, a one-man army isn't enough to solve the issue.
Yeah, one-man army for Trick, especially dishing out many different weapons across the 3 maps, just wasn't enough. Their Fishkissers' aggression was just crazy that we saw. Lily also just going off as well, with the Slosher on top of it too, was also posing a lot of problems for Is We Throwing, and it just kind of made things a little bit more difficult for the group. So but hey, that's how it works sometimes. First game, by the way, will be the Fishkissers going 3-0. We do have your live updates there with. Okay, I do see the Team Sigmas in chat. That's all just sending me back here.
Let's go.
Yeah, any teams that you can see right out the gate here from Group A Round 1, Quill?
I like 400 kilometers per hour last wagon. You can't read that whole one, but they're 1-1 against Brigado Movie. That's a good pickup name. I like that we see, let me see. We have Moonshine going 3-0 against Inkwat Dropouts. We have Fearless going 3-0 against Camp Flyfish, and Calamity Forge Neo going 3-0 of Where the Ink Blooms. I want to look out for all those teams I mentioned because I know they're really strong.
Yeah, and a lot of the strong teams that are willing to be that are competing this month's lowing, especially Calamity Forge, that you've noted there. 2-3-0 was a great start for the team. I think they actually went with a slightly different name from last month's lowing, to my recollection. So they got the group all back together here, and they're trying to have this one off strong. 3-0. Inkbound also rebounding back 3-0 against Red Leviathans here in Group A. If we're able to get to Group B, that would be awesome. But we'll see when we get that swapped over. But yeah, that's what we're seeing right away from Group A, Round 1 for this group. And I think there are other teams you may have also know there too. With Celestial 3-0 over Magical Cure Love Shot, which that team's been making a lot of rounds throughout the competitors.
Yeah, they're all really Magical Cure Love Shot. I think recently they got an upset in SOS when they were playing with This Is Fine. I believe that was just like this last Wednesday, no?
Yeah, it might have been this past Wednesday. The time is also just